Well, our next guest, it's called The Dr. Phil with a Soul. So he has a new book coming up. It's Keep On Believing. This is his new book, and you're going to be able to meet him at the booth. So please welcome John Seeley. Un aplauso, por favor.
Buenas tardes. That's the extent of my Spanish for now. I'm actually living in Mexico right now. I'm reverse engineering what I've been doing because it's a great place to write books. So my first book, and there's a story that goes with this, it's called Get Unstuck. Oops, Get Unstuck. And as I found, even if you write the book, you still get stuck. So let me ask you this. How many of you people have ever been stuck? Okay. How about the ones that didn't raise their hands? How many people do you know somebody else that's been stuck? Okay. How many people wouldn't raise their hand no matter what I ask? Okay. So we got that clear. So I wrote that book, and I had the concept that I'd like to go around the country and speak and sell books and help people change their lives. And so friends of mine said, well, John, if you're going to do that, because I wanted to get an RV. And they said, well, if you're going to do that, then you should get the amphibious RV. I said, there's an amphibious RV? They said, yes. And the amphibious RV is one that floats, but looks like a regular RV. So I did some research. Sure enough, there really is one. So I called up the manufacturer and I said, hey, I'd like to talk to you about a proposition. And they said, okay, great. So I flew cross country. I met with them and I said, I want to go to the 30 largest metro areas in the country. I want to talk to them about my new book, and I want to use your RV as the RV that never gets stuck. Get it? Because it can float. So I said, you don't have to pay me, but whatever body of water they got, we'll drive into it. We'll get newspaper, radio, TV coverage, everything. You'll sell a ton of these. Be a great thing for both of us. And they said, no, we don't really need any help. Now, I've told this story for a while, and no one still knows about that RV. But I had a backup plan. You should always have plan B. So my plan B was, okay, let's do a one-shot deal. If it works, then I will get to take it on tour. And if it doesn't work, you've wasted a couple days. But if it works, I'll get you in front of 1 billion people. And they're like, ooh, 1 billion people. How can you do that? I said, well, the Super Bowl is coming up, and we can take it there. It's only 2.5 hours away from where they were. And I said, and Fox is broadcasting the game. I'll get them to broadcast on the RV. They said, if you can get Fox to broadcast on the RV, we'll do it. So I hired a PR firm, and we got Fox. So we were all set to do it. We went down there. We unfortunately, it was pouring rain for 2 straight weeks before the game. So we were down there getting rained on. My book is on the side of the thing, 10 feet tall and 40 feet long, websites on the roof and everything. And I'm thinking, boy, we're missing out on all this great PR. What can we do? So I want to get the thing going. Is this not working?
No, it's okay. It's just a little bit.
More technicalities. See, he just helped me to get unstuck. So I said, well, we should have a Super Bowl party where we have cheerleaders and celebrities, and that way Fox has a reason to flash back and forth with us during the game to see what's going on. So we told the Coast Guard that we're going to be there, and they said, okay. And so we updated them and said, well, we're going to have a few more people on board and maybe some cameras. And so they said, okay. And then the next day we got an email from them that said, well, since you're going to have all those people on board, we're going to consider you a commercial vessel, and you have to have a certified ship's captain on board. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, here's where it went wrong. I didn't have a certified ship's captain, and I told the RV people this, and the guy who built the RV said, oh, I was a certified ship's captain, and my license expired just a few months ago. My mom was ill, and I didn't have time to renew it, but I know the head Coast Guard guy here. Maybe I can talk to him and kind of schmooze him. I said, yeah, sure, let's do that. So once we did that, wow, I'm getting a little loud. There we go. So once we did that, we got, okay, I can talk louder if you want. Okay, We're getting messages. This is a two-way street. This is great. Okay, so once we did that, the Coast Guard responded to us, and we didn't get the positive schmoozing benefit that I was hoping for. Because what had happened is they said, well, we did checking. The RV is not registered as a boat, and you cannot put it in the water in the state. I'm like, oh no, this is all going down tubes. So we tried coming up with other ways to do it. We couldn't. And so literally, I was sunk by the Coast Guard. And so what happened was, I woke up the next morning and I had a song in my head. Now, you guys might know this song. It's called Don't Stop Believing. You probably heard it. It's been on a lot of TV shows. It's been out for a long time. And it's by Journey. And literally, it was playing so loud in my head that I just said, oh, turn it down. And it turned out it was a message coming through. So I was deciding to write a book based on the song. I thought, this whole story would be good in a book because it'll motivate people to realize, don't give up even after things happen. And so what I did is I was writing the book and I realized don't stop believing is a negative affirmation. And here's the important thing you need to know. Negative affirmations don't work because your subconscious mind only hears the positive stuff. So it doesn't hear don't. It hears stop believing. So instead, I changed it around and I made it Keep On Believing, which is the new book that's out. And that is really the essence of what I want you to get. I'm going to walk you through a few different processes that will take you to a new understanding of how life works and how you can make it work to get the dreams that you want. Because you and I do the same thing. We help get people unstuck. We help people have better lives by using the business that you're creating. So ideally, what you want to do is have the concept of helping people be your intention. So what people don't realize is intention goes in two different ways. So what I'd first like to ask is, do we have one volunteer? I need you to come up on stage so I can do a little demonstration with you about how to create an intention. Anybody? Don't all jump up at once. Just one person. Come on, you can be famous. Yeah, come on up. All right, well, whoever's fastest. It's a race. All right, well, she beat you. Yeah, go around through the little gate there, I guess. Okay, so what I want you guys to understand is I'm going to set an intention right now for me helping you. My intention is to give you something in this talk that will impact your life positively, something that you're going to take away from this forever. Your life will change. So that's my intention. Now I'm going to talk about how we normally set intentions and then what happens. Hi. What's your name?
Martha.
Martha. Okay. Martha, I'm going to give you an intention, and I'd like you to do it. So right now, just stand there. You're just fine. I'm going to walk over here. Now, your intention is going to be to walk over and stand next to me. So that's a clear intention on yours. You just walk over here and stand next to me. Okay, wait. Okay. Now, what is her intention? No. Give it to me again. What do you think it is? If it was to walk over and stand next to me, where would she be? Yeah, but her intention was to listen to me instead. You see how we set an intention, but sometimes other things will happen? We think our intention is that way, but it's not. If her intention was here, no matter what I said, she just kept walking and be right next to me. She'd go, no, my intention is that. But it wasn't. Her intention was to listen to the guy on stage thinking he knows better. Thank you. Now, just wait. For that, you get a copy of the book.
Oh, thank you very much.
See? It pays to volunteer. Okay, so it's important to understand how your intentions work. All right, is my presentation going to work on here? Or do I have to press a button? Okay, I think it will in a second. Is it? Okay, because it's not on mine. That's why I'm trying to see it. There we go. Okay, so the amphibious RV, by the way, will be on tour next year, so with me. So I didn't stop believing. I kept on believing instead. So look for us. Hopefully, to start at the Super Bowl. We're working on that. Okay, so dreams and intentions. Everybody wants to create a dream, right? And you have intentions, like Martha did, and then you get derailed. Something happens in your life, and your intention goes out the window. And what you need to do is make sure you refocus back on your intention. Because if you want your dreams to happen, you need to focus on creating that. You get what you put your attention on. Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. And what that means is, if you think you can do it, you can do it. And I can testify to that. Not only myself personally have done a lot of things that people thought couldn't be done, but a lot of my clients have done the same thing. I convinced them that they could do it, and darn if they didn't do it, and they were surprised. So the idea is learn that you create an intention and you refocus on it as often as possible because you get what you put your attention on. So if you want to build a business, then you put your intention on how you're building that business. And that it will come true. Know that it will. A lot of people don't understand the way you create something is having that clear focus. And actually, you don't even have to know how you're going to do it. Just I'm going to do it. I know one of my friends wanted to travel, and so they said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get to Paris. I said, okay, let's make that your clear intention. And they made that their clear intention. Within 6 months, he was living in Paris. So the kind of stuff happens. I wanted a beautiful home on the beach. I'm living in Baja California on the beach. In a beautiful home, I get to see the ocean every day. So you can create something if you just get clear on it. So one of the things I want you to do is come up with some dreams that you want. So right now, let's hear a few dreams. What do you really want to have better in your life? Different. Anybody? Wealth. Want more wealth? Freedom. Freedom is a good thing. What else would you like? Retirement. Better? Better life for your kids. Yeah, my Spanish is getting there, but I'm not all there yet. Okay. Better life for your kids, more wealth, retirement, freedom. Anything else? Travel? Yeah, I like travel too. I had an intention a long time ago. I wanted to go to Australia and New Zealand, and guess what? I got to Australia and New Zealand, and I actually got paid because I was there speaking. So, I mean, talk about declaring an intention and making it happen. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you can do. One of the things I talk about in my book is called miracles happen every day. And most people think a miracle happens once in 1,000 years. No, they happen every single day. So I want you to understand that by doing that, you can make a miracle happen by creating it in your mind first and then knowing that it can happen. That's all you need. You don't have to know how. Know that it can. So, okay. There we go. So if you guys have any paper, I want you to draw these 9 dots that you see there on your paper. See, they don't have to be perfect. If you make them in a square or rectangle, just basically 9 dots somehow show up like that. Because this is something that's so important for people. When you want to create something that you haven't created in the past, this example is going to teach you how. So right now, once you do the 9 dots, I want you to take your pen or pencil, whichever, on the paper. Once you touch the paper, you cannot lift your pen or pencil up, but connect all those dots with only 4 straight lines. 4 straight lines, okay? Just do the 9 dots and connect all the dots with only 4 straight lines. And if anybody does it, let me know. Raise your hand. I want to see it. Okay, let me take a look. Bring it on up. Let me take a look. You missed 2 dots. That's it. Okay, so I wish we could put that up on the board. All right, here's what it is. If you can see those 9 dots, most people are trying to connect them like a square kind of thing, right? But then you miss the middle dot. Well, you've probably heard this expression before. It's called thinking outside of the box. You have to go past the dots and then come back down, and you'll hit the middle dot and then the outside dot, and then you come straight across, you get the bottom dots, and you zoom back up, and you got the final corner dots. That's how you get all the dots with 4 straight lines, but you have to go outside the box. Most of us, our thinking is within that box. But everything that you want in your life that you do not have is outside that box. That box is your comfort zone. That box is how you think. So what you have to do is expand that. Do something that's different than you've ever done. Otherwise, you're going to continue to get the same results. Einstein said that. He said, continuing doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results, or expecting different results, is insanity. So learn that you have to think outside those lines, outside that box. Oh, by the way, who got that one? No, whoever actually brought it up to me, who was that? Oh, you? Well, come on over here. You get a copy of my new book.
Thank you.
Okay, so the concept is once you think outside the box, then you can create different things. All right, there we go. The roadmap to your future begins by you deciding where you want to go. The problem most people have, the biggest fear that most people have, is the fear of the unknown. And if you decide that you know where you're going, it's no longer unknown. So you need to create something that'll get you there. So one of the things you can create by getting there is to create your roadmap. So first of all, decide what you want. Now here's what I talk about doing. It's called SMART goals. So it's S-M-A-R-T, goals. And here's what it means. You have to make a goal that's specific. Specific is something that, it's like, I want to be happier. Now, most people would say that's a hard goal to define and make it a SMART goal. I said, well, what would make you happier? If I could define that you're happier, what does that mean? They said, if I laughed 3 times a day. I said, okay, that's specific enough. We can measure that. The M, by the way, that's measure. So it has to be measurable. If you say, I want more money, how can we measure that? You got to give me a total. I want $10,000 by the end of the year. Oh, okay, that's more measurable. There you go. Now then, the next part is A, it's appropriate. Appropriate means, does it meet your wants and needs, and does it interfere with anybody else's? So for instance, let's say I want a relationship with Mary. That would be the goal I'm setting. Well, Mary's life is her own, so I can't say that. My goal would be I want a relationship with a woman like Mary. Then it's okay, and it might be Mary, if her choice is the same, or it might be somebody else. So that's appropriate. Realistic, and this is a key thing for you. Is it 50% believable to you? Remember I said you got to think outside the box? You got to think 50%, well, let's say the $10,000. Let's use that example. If you want $10,000, is 10,000 believable? For some people it is, for some people it's not. So let's say, 5,000 is believable. Okay, you can still set the goal for 10,000 because 5,000 is 50% believable. You believe that, you can get the 5,000, you set the goal for 10. Because you know what? If you set it higher than you thought you could get, oftentimes you'll get either that goal, maybe even higher, but you'll certainly get more than the 5. So set the goal realistic in your eyes. It's about your belief. It doesn't matter if anybody else believes it, unless it's your coach, like I did, where I told my client, you have to believe I believe it. I believe you can do this. You don't have to believe it. Believe in me. And they go, I believe in you. I go, okay, then you believe that you can do this because I tell you you can do this. Guess what? He did it. And this was a guy, he needed $12,000 in a week. And that was Friday. And on Monday he called me, he said, I've already got 7,500 of it, and I got a new client coming in tomorrow. So he did get the rest. The point is, he didn't think he could do it. I said, I think you can do it, and we proved it right. So believe it's realistic by 50% believability in your mind. That's all you need. Then time. T is the time. You have to set a deadline for this to happen. Otherwise, you can say, I want a new car. Okay, when? If it's sometime in your lifetime, well, maybe you'll get it. But set a reasonable time zone. And a time limit is like, again, it's part of the 50% believable. If you say, I want $1 million, well, if this year and you've never made more than 10,000, that might be a little unbelievable. But if you set a 10-year deadline to make the $1 million, might be believable, might be a reasonable time limit to set. So you have to coordinate all these together, but that's a SMART goal. This is how you paint your roadmap, that you then no longer have a fear of creating that because you know what it's going to look like. Now, once you get that, you have to understand you need support. If you have all these dreams that you say that you want and you haven't achieved them so far in your life, and especially if you've been working on them for a little bit, let's say at least 6 months, and you really haven't made any progress toward it, that means you need somebody else to help you. That means you need support. And that's what I do with people. You have a coach who takes you in a place that you've never been because they've been there. This is like my Keep On Believing. These stories are real people who overcame tremendous odds to create the dreams, the benefits that they really want in their life. So it's the kind of thing, if you understand other people can help you get to where you want to go, it's like you can walk from here to New York or you can take a jet. I'd rather take the jet. So this is the kind of thing that if you do that, you take those steps, and there's a whole bunch of other processes that you can do. I put a bunch of it in the first book, Get Unstuck, and the Keep On Believing book is really about inspiring yourself to do that. And by the way, I did write the first one in Spanish. So you can pick those up later. I want you to know that right now, you have the chance to set a new intention in your life. Create a new possibility of anything that you want. Do it in a smart way. Do it with support. And know that you can get it, and you'll create that. Thank you.